So Canada. Believe it or not, it's been almost 3 years since you and I were here for Targa, Newfoundland, so I felt it high time to come back and visit our good friend, ex-Ford man, now Targa Team SRT teammate, Rob Pacione. But you really can't turn up to a friend's house empty-handed, and I had a hard time fitting just that right gift that said America in my carry-on luggage. But I was lucky to find that there was the perfect gift, built only 21 miles away from Pacione's house. But Pacione's not really one for change, so I had to start out with the really important points. V8, 6.2 liters, supercharged.
Nice.
580 horsepower. Now friends, Pacione is incredibly difficult to impress because the man's literally driven everything on 4 wheels. So it wasn't until I busted out the details of the hood and the air dam working together to create 200 pounds of downforce that he even reluctantly agreed to test drive something with a bow tie. But it was on that test drive that he was absolutely adamant. He was a friend of his I just had to meet.
Rob?
What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
How are you?
Things are good?
MotoMan.
MotoMan.
Peter Klutt.
Pleasure to meet you.
We just pulled up with a new ZL1. I figured
You're driving a ZL1?
I'm driving a ZL1.
Now you know what a real car feels like, huh?
Not like that.
Have you ever driven a Chevy before?
No, I have no interest. I have no
You know,
interest.
when you cut him, it just bleeds blue. Ford blue, nothing else, huh?
That's right, that's right. So I figured I'd bring him to the home of the bow tie. So you know what, you guys can talk about that. I see something that I like right here. I'm going to go pay some
Can I sell you
attention.
something? Yeah, you offer me about 50 cents on the dollar, huh? Yeah. Come on, I'll show you a killer Chevy. You know, I know you're driving a new ZL1, but let me show you where it all started. You know, at 69, Fred Gibb decides he wants to go super stock racing. But he looks at it and says, you know what, we can't win with what we got. You know, the L78s, they're great, the L89s are great, but they're not quick enough. So he says, the Chaparrals have been kicking everybody's ass with the new aluminum block, aluminum head motor, but it's a dry sump motor. So he convinces Chevrolet to stuff him in a Camaro. He orders 50 himself. But let me show you what makes these cars so special. This is all engine.
Wow.
Yeah, so aluminum block, aluminum heads, intake, water pump, everything aluminum on this thing. 430 horsepower, rated 430, probably closer to 5.25 really once you tweak it a little bit. In today's world of muscle cars, from a Chevy point of view, it's one of the ultimate muscle cars for a lot of guys.
It was great to meet Peter, but once I got back in the car, I realized I left Pacione alone way too long because he had one of those crazy don't ever ask me about my business kind of looks on his face and was blabbering something about a transatlantic surprise.
Hey, mate.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
I need you to do me a big favor.
Shoot.
We need to get the training wheels off of this guy.
What do you mean training wheels? I competed in Targa.
Touring.
Targa?
Touring.
Did my car not say Targa Newfoundland on the side?
Yeah, but it's touring.
Targa.
No. We need to get him out of touring into a real race car.
Sure.
And you're the man who can do it for me. Please, please, help this guy out.
Yeah, you remember Francois Delacour, Colin McRae?
Of course.
Well, this is the car that they drove the RAC Championships in.
That's a Sapphire all drive?
Yes, it is. Check it out. We have a 7-inch rear limited slip diff attached to full rear independent suspension. And we have these magnesium coil-over Bilstein suspensions. Remember, this is 1987. These things are huge. They're to withstand anything that they could throw at the car. They're fully adjustable from the bottom and dampening from the top. This is the powertrain that Ford put in the car. It was an MT75 Borg-Warner transmission, right from the factory. It was the weak link in the rally scene because they had a lot of problems with it breaking down. Now a lot of people, they upgrade it to a Quaife, straight tooth box, which is pretty much an indestructible box for this car, and it is proven to do the job properly.
We recently got some bad news from Auburn Hills. We heard that the guys from Chrysler crushed the MotoMan Targa car. Now it's probably because they were embarrassed of the way he drove the car, so us being the magnanimous souls that we are in Canada figured, here you go, we're going to build him another one. Hopefully he can take his skirt off and drive this thing like a man in Targa class.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but this is a 1985 Ford Sierra Cosworth rally car. And this one's got a hell of a story. It started life as basically a body in white, a spare body for the Ford racing team, and some very lucky dude in England bought it and built it from the remains of a '91 Cosworth rally car running gear.
So this was the engine of choice. It was a 2-litre 16-valve twin-cam engine. In the production cars, it didn't put out a lot of horsepower, approximately 204 to 215. A lot of people wanted more power out of this engine, so did Ford for the racing. You could put a bigger turbo on it, a bigger injection system, remap the computer, and you could quite comfortably take this car up over 300 to 350. Now, there are a lot of guys out there that wanted to go even harder with it. You could put the RS500 injection system on it, which ran 2 injectors off of the intake per cylinder, another turbo, a remap. You could comfortably take this car to 550 to 600 horsepower and 625 foot-pounds of torque.
But wait, there's more. It's Cosworth on top, twin cam, but the block, a Pinto.
So this was the crate engine we picked up for MotoMan's new Targa toy. It's a factory 392, 6.4 litre Hemi V8. We've made a few modifications to it. We had the heads ported and polished. We had Cook's long tube headers. We've got the MSD coil pack ignition blasters, and we're going to put a racing clutch in this time. Basically, the stock car puts out 470 horsepower. We're trying to get this as close to 550, maybe even a bit more. And I think this is going to wake him up when he drives this car on the track this time.
Woo, I'm sweating bullets. It's an interesting story with Ford Racing and these things. They never won a championship. They didn't even win a race with one of these cars. Best they ever did was with Delacour, and he came in #2 with one of these, an all-wheel drive version like this. And if you want a visceral experience, you want to be a man, you want to climb to the top of Macho Mountain, this is your car. I gotta get me one of these. I think I just found my next Targa car.
So Mike, let me understand something. The car you sent him off in, what kind of power is it making?
360 horsepower, 375 foot-pounds of torque, and it's all-wheel drive.
360, 580.
Okay, so here's the script. For a new MotoMan film every week, click subscribe. And to get a sneak peek of what's coming up on the show, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, MotoManTV, all one word.